So NearHub reached us out and sent one of their pen tablets called MagicPad S13. As per usual guys, we'll check its physical overview, features, product and software functions, and do some tests on Blender, Medibang, and we'll test it out on NearHub app, Zoom, Google Whiteboards, and more. We'll tell you everything you need to know coming up. Hey, what's up guys, this is Mac and we do a lot of tech related videos like this one. If this is your first time, consider subscribing. With that said, let's begin. So what do we get inside the box? The MagicPad S13 obviously, the battery free pen, the USB-A to USB mini cable that is less than 5 feet in length, pen clipper with 10 extra pen nibs, and some documentations. Now let's check out some physical overview and let's start with the pen first. So the design is simple with all black texture material and a silver outline over here. It is very light for less stress on your hand, and this is good for those who wanted something like this. And if you are curious about its weight, then you can check this out and pause the video. Replacing the pen nib is very simple. Just use this clipper and clip it like so before pulling it out. Placing a new one is as simple as reversing the process. Now let's check out the tablet. So the build is all plastic material with different texture finishes. On this part, we have sandblasted texture. On the drawing area is matte black. The programmable buttons and where the logo is at is some glossy material which I'm not a fan of. It has a subtle curve on the top and the bottom for comfort, so we also have 4 rubber feet underneath to keep the tablet in place while you draw. The USB mini port is at the left side, and over here we have some lighting indicator that lights up depending on what you're doing. The drawing area is quite large, and if you want to know the exact dimensions, you can check this out and pause the video. We also got a total of 8 programmable buttons where you can program them in accordance to your workflow. We'll talk more about this as we go through the software later, but for now, let's check out the features. So this pen tablet is compatible with Windows, Mac OS, Chrome OS, and Linux. This pen tablet basically works on any software that detects pen pressure, assuming you have enabled Windows Ink in your Windows operating system. It has a passive electromagnetic technology with 8192 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is becoming common nowadays, and if your pen tablet is less than this one, then you should buy one of these already. It has 5080 LPI reading resolution with max report rate of 266 RPS and also a reading height of 10mm. Like I've mentioned earlier, this one has 8 fully programmable buttons that can be configured in its software. Just a quick reminder though, if you have other pen tablet software in your PC, you need to uninstall it first because we will have driver conflict, which actually took me some time to figure it out with the NearHub support team. Well, anyways, let's move on to the next topic about the software driver. Now in the software, we got 3 major tabs, aka the work area, pen settings, and shortcut settings. In the work area is where you can see 2 more tabs, aka the screen and pen tablet. In the screen tab is where we can see the monitor screen accordingly, and if you have multiple monitors, you will be able to see them all here and choose whatever monitor you want. As for me, I just have one, so no need to bother. If ever you have a large screen, you can also edit it over here or use the set screen area button. If ever you made a mistake, just click this default button to reset. There's also a button that you can identify which monitor you are using the software with. In the pen tablet tab is where we can modify the size of the work area accordingly or rotate the tablet in different angles depending on what type of art you are going to work on. It can be portrait or landscape. It is actually straightforward, so just play around with the settings accordingly. Now in the pen settings is where we can customize the pen pressure, set it up in accordance to how heavy or soft you want it. You can also choose between the mouse mode and the Windows Ink, and again, if you made a mistake, just click this default button to reset. In the shortcut keys is where we can program the 8 different buttons on the tablet. You can use the default or customize your own, and obviously we're going to customize our own here. So in the key customization window, you can set it to mouse control with keyboard combinations or make a macro. There are some of these other functions to disable, show driver panel, or use it as a switch between pen and eraser, which what I'm going to use one of these buttons for. You can also run an application if you desire so, or customize the name if needed. Just a reminder that you always need to click OK button to save your own configuration, otherwise it will not work. By the way, these buttons have an anti-ghosting features, meaning you can press multiple keys all at the same time and all 8 buttons will be registered. This is actually a good thing, especially if you have key combinations you need while using a drawing app. Though you can also do this in macro, but it is a good thing that we have an anti-ghosting feature in this pen tablet. The application plus and minus buttons is where we can connect an app so that your pen settings and shortcut keys will automatically change in accordance to the active app you are currently using. For example, I have a different shortcut keys for Blender and different ones for Medibang, and whenever I'm editing in Blender, the pen settings and shortcut keys will be set automatically. Likewise, when I switch to Medibang app, it will also change the pen settings and shortcut keys accordingly. Lastly, we have the settings icon, which is actually self-explanatory and we have tested it already and it works as it should. We're actually going to work on some details on this 3D model. As you can see, the texture is very flat and we need to work on some edge emphasis on it, so to speak. Yeah, you will get what I mean in a bit. So for the most part of the image, I edited it in Medibang with this pen tablet so that I can keep the layers separated, which is the thing that you cannot do in Blender. I did this off camera because the video might take too long if I included that in the video. Anyway, as I demo this pen tablet using Blender painting, let me tell you my experience while using it. One very obvious difference from my other pen tablets in the office is that the working area is massive, which is actually a good thing, and it's not straining on my hands considering the shape of the tablet. The pen tablet distance response time is actually very nice and it seems very accurate. Also, drawing on it feels like you're drawing on a real paper using a real pencil. And maybe because of the collision sound. I love the 8K pressure sensitivity because the transition between the large and small details are very smooth, and the response time is very accurate as well. The 8 customizable buttons are very handy, especially if you're using a 65% keyboard layout like I do. Usually, I use full-size keyboard whenever I am texture painting in Blender, but with these 8 extra buttons, I no longer need a full-size keyboard. Though you need to practice your muscle memory for it, so keep that in mind. The anti-ghosting feature is also appreciated since you can press multiple keys all at the same time and all will be registered. This is actually a good pen tablet for artists, and yes, I will be switching with this one for texturing my 3D models. Before moving on, let me just show you this real quick. NearHub actually got their own whiteboard that is accessible in most operating system platform, where you can share your drawings, plan a sketch or whatnot to your colleagues. You can also invite or join sessions accordingly. And this is actually free, but you can go for Pro if you need this really bad. Just use the 180 days trial for their business plan to test it out first. Anyway, just in case you wonder if this pen tablet works on Google or Zoom whiteboards, well, it does. Like I said earlier, this pen tablet works on any software that detects pen pressure. Now let's move on to the conclusion and let me tell you the things that I like and don't like about this pen tablet. Number 1. I hate this glossy material because it is a dust and fingerprint magnet. Not to mention it will have these micro scratches that ticks me off. My OCD actually kicks in whenever I see it and loses interest in drawing, so please stop using glossy material on any gadgets. Another is the USB Mini. I mean, come on, it's 2023. Nobody should be using this kind of connection anymore. Lastly, the pen. Though this is a personal preference, I would rather have a slightly heavier pen with 2 programmable buttons on it and some sort of stand for the pen, so you won't easily lose it. Now let's talk about the things that I like about this pen tablet. Number 1. The large working area. I have been using a small working area for years and this kind of stuff is really convenient. Not to mention the solid curve on the sides. It helps me draw even longer hours because it is comfortable. I also want to mention the 10 extra nibs replacement are appreciated. The pen tablet specifications are very good with the 8K pressure sensitivity and all because it helps me draw accurately without any jagged lines in between, and the transitions are very smooth. The 8 programmable buttons are very handy and useful if you have a small keyboard like mine. I also love the programmable buttons have an anti-ghosting feature and programming them all is very easy. The software is straightforward and easy to use for beginners, and I believe most artists who use a pen tablet like this will be able to understand it quickly. Connecting the pen settings and the shortcut keys with several drawing apps is also appreciated. Though I have one suggestion. Hopefully we could have a cloud storage for those exported settings in the future instead of saving those files in our PC because we might lose it. So NearHub, I hope you are listening. Anyway, if you will ask me if I'll recommend this, well, that is a big yes. So if you want one of this MagicPad S13 pen tablet, you can grab one today by using the links in the description. If you think this is not for you, then try checking out the other pen tablet reviews we have on your screen. So that's it guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.